We're talking Blue Raider football. Live from the Boulevard Bar and Grill, it's Rick Stockstill Live. 1 hour of football conversation with the head coach of the Blue Raiders. Be a part of the show on Twitter using the hashtag AskStock. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Now with head coach Rick Stockstill, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. Let's go!
Welcome into the Boulevard on this Monday night as we work into week number 6 of the college football season. Chip Walters along with the head coach, Rick Stockstill. We come to you from the Boulevard Bar and Grill just across from campus, our favorite sports bar and grill in Murfreesboro. Be sure and stop by today. Come on and stop by tonight and enjoy with us. We're here, Monday Night Football getting underway here in just a little bit, and a little housekeeping up front for those of you here in the audience tonight. Mark your calendar and be back with us again on Friday at noon. We'll be back here Friday at noon recording next Monday night's show with the schedule that it is. And Coach is here tonight, and Coach back on a Monday night, but just 48 hours away from kickoff. Oh, try that. Well, let me try this. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. It really does seem different. You know, even the press conference with AC, Mark Owens this morning, it seemed different that it was, you know, your next game's right on top of you. So it is a little bit different, unique, but it is what it is. But, you know, glad to be here. Got a great crowd. Appreciate everybody coming out tonight.
Yep. And again, a reminder, and we'll remind you of this several times tonight, is that Wednesday night is the annual blackout night. So the team will be wearing all black and want everybody there wearing all black and on a national television platform on ESPNU. So take us through what today, I mean, this is like having your coach's show on Thursday night is what it normally is. So what is your normal Thursday, and this week, Monday, next week it'll be, or the next 2 weeks, it'll be Sunday, this 48 hours before kickoff. What are you normally doing on this day?
Well, on Thursdays it's you know, normally a shorter practice. You know, we're out there about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 5 minutes. Sometimes coaches leave after practice to go recruiting if we have a home game, you know, so they'll get out. But normally you come in after practice and get organized, and that's Thursday's your night that as coaches that you can get out at a decent hour and get home and spend some time with your family. So it's a little bit, that's a normal Thursday, you know. The day up through the day is the same, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just Thursday, because it's a shorter practice and you don't have as much film, and if you're out recruiting and everything, it's an opportunity to get home a little bit earlier.
And from a game plan standpoint, by the time you get to Thursday, you pretty much got it all done, correctly?
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, in a normal week. And, you know, tonight is different because we'll have to go back up and, you know, watch film and all that, just because you lost 2 days or a day and a half, I guess. You know, so this whole month is going to be different. It's going to be, you know, unique. It's going to have its own challenges each week, different challenges because of what day you play on, and if you're home or you're away, and it's going to be very, very challenging.
Yep, and you know, as you mentioned, last week you were out 2 days, and everybody was that played on Thursday night. Last week you were out those 2 extra days, and how did that, from a mental standpoint, speed things up in your brain, and how did you try to handle that from, you know, especially with your guys, because you don't want to get too anxious. You want to try to keep them on as regular of a routine as you can, but you still have to try to get all your work done in only a certain amount of time.
Yeah, there's nothing that's going to be regular about this or routine about this. These guys are, there is no routine for the month of October.
Right.
And, so it's different, and just we're all creatures of habit. We like, to organize. We like to know what we're doing, and it's just different. Today, you got a handful of players that aren't at practice, starters, guys that aren't at practice because, they've got labs, they got classes on Monday that later in the afternoon that they couldn't get out of. And, so this whole, and I get it, and I've said it a million times, this being on TV and ESPN is great exposure, but it does present a lot of challenges and a lot of issues, not only for coaches but for these players, because, they got other obligations also.
Who do you think likes the regular schedule in their head more, coaches or players?
I would think both.
Yeah.
I think both. I think we're both creatures of habit. You like to get in a routine and go. And, you look at some of the other teams in the conference, a handful of them had open dates last week, and now they play, Wednesday, or Tuesday. Their routine is going to be a lot easier, than what us and really La Tech and Jacksonville State, to me, looking at it, have the most sporadic up and down schedule.
Yeah, and it looked like there was, for those teams you mentioned, for Middle, Western, Jacksonville State, and Sam Houston, there's a whole lot more coming at you in what appears to be a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, and some of those guys, they played 2 midweek games and they got an open date in the middle of it, which helps them, from a recovery standpoint also. But it's different.
Yep.
And, we just got to handle it the best we can. The players have got to adjust and be professionals about how they approach each week.
Yeah, one of your concerns going in obviously was about recovery time, and when you come off of a Saturday game and play a Thursday, that's just 5 days right there. And I think you talked to us here last Monday night and said, cold tubs, things like that, were not going to be optional. They were going to be required. And how did you think your guys handled that part of it to get their bodies back after playing Colorado State?
I think they did a good job. Again, it's a little bit more of a challenge, because you don't have as much time with classes and practices and meetings. You don't have as much time. They don't have it's hard to get a day off. In a normal week, they've got Monday off, so they've got a bunch of time, where they can, foam roll and stretch and get in tubs and massages and all that, But when it's a shorter week, you don't have as many opportunities to do that.
Yeah. Well, the first week of the midweek schedule is in the books, and last week the scores, only 3 games last week, and that was Western Kentucky knocking off Middle 31-10. Same night, last Thursday, Jacksonville State defeated Sam Houston 35-28 in overtime. We'll talk more with Mike Paris about the Jacksonville State victory. And then on Friday night, Louisiana Tech on the road at UTEP and win by a score of 24-10. This week, all the games, instead of Thursday, Friday, will be Wednesday, Thursday, and then the following week, all the games will be Tuesday, Wednesday for a couple of weeks. So this week, Jacksonville State at Middle at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. At 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, FIU will be at New Mexico State. Then on Thursday, 6 o'clock, Sam Houston at Liberty. And then at 7 o'clock, Western Kentucky will be at Louisiana Tech. So that's where we are after our first segment. Want to remind you, Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. We'll dive into the Middle Western matchup when we return with Rick Stockstill live here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Clear. And the game goes into overtime. but the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm an after-luncher.
Me? I'm a football game half-timer.
I'm a whenever I can get 5 minutes, or...
Whenever you like to bank, the secure mobile app from Ascend has you covered. Transfer funds, apply for loans, even set spending limits. Do banking stuff right from your smartphone.
I'm a bank in person-er. Is that okay?
Yep. Just drop by one of our branches. Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
Put Lee Company on your team to keep you and your family warm this season. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good no matter how cold it gets. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good to go no matter how cold it gets. And while you're at it, ask them how to get endless hot water by installing an energy-efficient tankless water heater. Schedule your appointment today at leecompany.com or give them a call at 615-867-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment, and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live tonight on this Monday night. And again, a reminder to those in the audience here, we'll be taping next Monday's show this Friday at noon. So come enjoy a great lunch here at the Boulevard at noon on Friday. Coach, going into the Western Kentucky game, one thing you knew for sure is that they were a terrific football team, even coming back from a year ago when you, as good as they were then, and you bring back a quarterback as talented as Austin Reed, and with what they do and what everybody does now pretty much offensively, having a guy that talented with skilled people around him is very important these days.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. I mean, you got to have a quarterback at no matter what level you're playing, high school, college, NFL. That's where it starts, and they've got a good one. And he did a really nice job, made some really elite throws. That one over Jacoby in the corner of the end zone back there by the tents was really a phenomenal throw. Jacoby had him covered about as good as he could. But the thing I guess I was most impressed with him by was, we were never able to get him on the ground, sack him, but we got him off his spot. We moved him, and he did a really, really good job of escaping it. We couldn't get our hands on him and get him down, and I think that's an area where he's improved from last year. He did a really nice job of getting, buying some time, getting outside the pocket and, making some plays, that way. But he's a really good player.
Malachi Corley is a terrific receiver that goes with him, and he really was a problem early on. You kind of neutralized him a little bit in the second half, but early on he was making some big plays.
Yeah, they threw the fast screen out there to him a bunch to get the game started, and he's not a real fast guy, but he's big. He's 225 pounds, and he's hard to get on the ground. So he broke some tackles and ran through us a little bit. But I thought for the most part we did a nice job on him. I think he ended up with 7 or 8 catches, but not a ton of yards.
Yeah, you held them on their first drive and forced a punt, got the ball back, and had a play break open. It was going to be a 72-yard touchdown pass and run, and there was a holding call on that. How much do you think that affected your guys early from just a mental standpoint of, number one, you had to overcome that. You see the points come off the board, and you never know if you guys get in the end zone on that first possession, how the game's going to play out at that point.
Yeah, you're not going to sit here, and I said it after the game, that one play did not determine the outcome of the game. But, we're so fragile, I think, right now mentally, from a confidence standpoint, that, you have something good like that happen early, and then ultimately it's not there. That I think just from a confidence standpoint, it affected us a little bit, but in no way did that. There were 79 other plays after that. So, but it did, just a little deflating maybe is what I'm trying to allude to.
And the reason I ask is we talked a couple of weeks ago after the Murray game where you'd had numerous penalties and cut them down in half against Colorado State and also against Western Kentucky, but it was almost – it looked like you've mentioned it was a little deflating, and it's like, okay, here we go again. We don't need to do this, and let's get over and get past that. And sometimes that's a tough hurdle.
Yeah, and again, I thought we did. It wasn't something that you hung on to and you kept dwelling on for the next quarter, two, whatever. That's where your mental toughness has to come into play. And good play, bad play, you got to put it behind you and be ready to move on to the next.
In the first half, Western Kentucky able to get touchdown passes to Poindexter, also to Messer, and Reed had a 1-yard touchdown run. It was 23-3 at the half. The Blue Raiders did get the field goal, and they had the extra point that was no good. But when you at halftime, what was your message at halftime?
Well, to me, you look at the first half and really the whole game. It's as much about us as it is them, and fumbling that ball right at the end of the first half. That just you're looking at going in 17-3, and now it's 23-3. It's just that kind of stuff, and then if some nuts and candy and all that stuff, but if we don't have the holding penalty, if we don't drop the touchdown in the end zone where we have to settle for a field goal, if we don't give them that, it's a 17-14 game, whatever, at halftime. And just so it's more about us, and that's what I told them. When we get fixed, and I thought we played the third quarter, was a really, really good quarter on both sides of the ball.
Yep, and it goes back to what you've said before. You never know when that big play is going to happen, and they happen throughout the span of a football game. We'll take a timeout and talk about that second half as the Blue Raiders look to make a comeback, trailing at halftime at Western Kentucky. You're listening to Rick Stockstill Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Winning requires the right game plan. Like the impressive towing and payload you'll only find in the 2023 Ford F-150 truck. No wonder Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight. The 2023 Ford F-150. Greatness starts here. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and proud partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
Hey Blue Raiders fans, the Mint Gaming Hall Kentucky Downs is a proud partner of your Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. For good times and big wins, the Raiders and the Mint Gaming Hall deliver both. Located close by in Franklin, Kentucky, the Mint Gaming Hall is your spot for great food, cold drinks, and big jackpots. Ready for dinner? The all-new Iron Steakhouse awaits you. Come hungry and be prepared to be impressed. Check out themintgaming.com for all the details. Get your big hit today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic check.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight for Rick Stockstill Live. Glad to have you with us. Everyone's a winner with MTSU's 2023 freshman guaranteed scholarships. First-time freshmen wanting to attend MTSU must apply by December 1st to be considered for a guaranteed academic scholarship. New this year is the $14,000 True Blue Scholarship available for students with an ACT score between 22 and 24 and a high school GPA of 3.5. You could earn more lucrative scholarships with higher ACT scores, but you must apply by December 1st. Find it all at mtsu.edu. Coach, is the way that the first half ended and you got in the locker room and you try to regroup things knowing that you have the football to come out in the second half to start the second half, and thought you put together a terrific drive as Frank Pizant ended up with a 15-play, 75-yard drive. He had a really nice 16-yard run to cap that off.
Yeah, again, I thought that was a very efficient and highly executed drive. I think we had 2 fourth-down plays, in that drive. And, again, just because I told them at halftime, we'd take the first one down, score, defense stop, take the next one down, drive, get a stop. Now you're back in the game, and we almost did it. And but, it was a good drive. Frank had a really nice run, and Nick made some nice throws, and we did a nice job on that drive.
Yeah, and like you said, the idea, go out, score, stop them, get the ball back, go down and score again, and all of a sudden it's a one-score game, and you were right on the doorstep of getting that done. You got it down where you had a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line, and it didn't play out the way you wanted to right there.
No, I mean, obviously you want to score, and we weren't able to execute well enough to do it. And give them credit. They did a good job at we had a chance there on second down, I think it was, and Nick just got a little high on his throw to Jacob Coleman. And so we had a chance there, and then Nick made a nice run on third down to get it inside the 5, down there to the 4-3, and we just couldn't get it in on fourth down. But, again, give them credit, but it was a little bit better. Those 2 drives there were better than what we had been doing.
Yeah, and what was the difference in being able to, as far as consistency on those
I think
those drives?
I think the big thing, we were better on first down, that enabled us to be not as predictable, on third down, and because we ran the ball, for first downs on third down. We got short 4th and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 3, whatever it was, a couple times that you were able to, convert on that. So I think probably the big thing is we were probably more efficient on first down, and we ran the ball a little bit better, and Nick made some nice throws.
Last 2 weeks you've run it for 120 and 150, and then had a 170 rushing day against Murray State. And I know that's something you've been wanting to see continue to get better, and I think we're seeing that. And now that you've got a healthy Frank Peasant back there with Flip Cradle and Jerkale Middlebrook, you've got some nice options in the run game.
Yeah, we are running the ball a little bit better, but at the same time, we've got to create more explosive plays because, like you said, 15 plays, 75 yards. I don't know. I can't remember what the second drive was.
Well, it was 14 plays down to the fourth down play.
So, again, 29 plays and you get 7 points and take a lot of time off the clock. And so we've got to be able to get a little bit more explosive than what we've been, whether it's in the passing game or the run game.
And I was to that point that you make there. I was looking in the stats today. Your scoring drives, you're averaging just under 7 plays per game and about 60 yards on scoring drives, and that is kind of in the wheelhouse of where you want to be.
Yeah, you'd like to, and because the more the defense makes you snap the ball, the more advantageous it is for them because, it's hard to execute for 10, 12, 14, 15 plays without doing something to hurt yourself. And whether a tackle for a loss, a negative play, a penalty, it's hard to score consistently without explosive plays.
Western Kentucky wins the ball game by a score of 31-10 over Middle Tennessee. The sights now on Jacksonville State on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. It looks like it is going to be Chamber of Commerce weather at Floyd Stadium for the blackout night, and hope that you can be there. And don't forget, there's a buy one, get one on these weeknight games. You need to find that at mtsu.edu or goblueraiders.com/tickets and get that terrific sideline reserved seat deal. Speaking of the Gamecocks, we'll talk to Mike Paris, who is the longtime voice of the Gamecocks, when we return after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree
count it down
can
and
make
play
that
it, okay?
happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime partner of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. Roscoe Brown will be celebrating 83 years in business and has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
At Kroger, you can find the highest quality products at a great price in every aisle, every day with Kroger brand. So you can stock up on your household favorites that are tried, tested, and loved by you. Because when you get the products you love at great prices, it feels like winning. Shop now, in-store, or online. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Simply the best.
Imagine all the hits you love in one collection. Live it up with favorites like, I won, did you hear me? I won! Or the timeless treasure, I just won $5,000! And who can forget the all-time classic, Look Who's Going on Vacation! Get your hands on the cash-loaded Hit Instant Games collection at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. And let the good times roll. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live on this Monday night as we get ready for a Wednesday night matchup with Jacksonville State. The Gamecocks will be coming into Murfreesboro for the first time in quite a while, and happy to have the longtime voice of JSU football and basketball and baseball, Mike Paris, on with us. And Mike, we go back about 40 years playing each other and being on the separate sides of broadcast, but this is the first time we've ever done it while we were in the same conference.
Weird, isn't it? I guess you stay around and do this long enough, anything's possible. But yeah, it's I can't remember officially, 97, 98, I guess the last time that we played you guys, somewhere in there is when it was.
I think that's right. And the first one that I remember was back in the 80s when Vince Hall, who was from Scottsboro, Alabama, was the running back at middle, and Bill Burgess was coaching Jacksonville State and running the option.
That was in 85, I think. It was his first year as our head coach. And as I recall, Mr. Hall had a pretty good night that night against us. And Coach Burgess had to do a little rebuilding at that point in time. But once he got it going there, we had some great years under him. But, yeah, 85 was when that would have been.
Yeah, so we're thinking 38 years. And during that 38-year period, Jack State has really had some outstanding football teams. Kind of give folks a little bit of an idea of the journey that Jacksonville State has gone through from a conference standpoint over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, I'll go back. We left Division II and joined the Division I ranks officially. The first year as a member of the league was 1997. We moved up in 95, played an independent in football. Joined the what was the Southland Football League at that time, 3 schools in Texas, 3 in Louisiana, and us in Troy, as a matter of fact. We did that from 97 to 02. We joined the OVC in 2003 and stayed in the OVC up until 2 years ago. We joined the ASUN. And I really think the plan with the ASUN at that point in time was eventually I think they were looking to do FBS football was what it was. We joined the ASUN 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden last year we got the possibility to make the change to FCS football with the offer from Conference USA. So when we initially moved up, football, as I said, Southland Football League, well, at that time it was the TAC, Trans-America Athletic Conference. All the other sports were there, which eventually became the Atlantic Sun, and then they changed the name to what it is now, the ASUN. So two stints there, and now in Conference USA with the OVC in between as well. So this is our third league in the last 4 years as it stands now.
Exactly. That's why I asked you the question there. But the 2023 version of Jacksonville State's Gamecocks have gotten off to a really good start. You're 4-1, and you guys played in week 0. So this will be the midway point at the end of Wednesday night's game will be the midway point of your regular season, and got off to a good start going to UTEP and getting a conference win right there in week 0. And I would assume that has really juiced up the fan base there.
You are correct. We opened at home with them, first ever FBS game and the first Conference USA game at home all as one, and that was that stretch where we had that. It was unbearably hot. In fact, on the field, on the turf, I think they said the temperature was about 120 or so degrees that day, and I think we probably would have packed the place out had it not been for that, but the heat kept some folks away. Still, we had a great crowd. But yeah, playing and beating them juiced us. We had East Tennessee State in week 2, so we jump out 2-0, had an open date, go to Coastal, get beat 30-16. Played okay up there. We cut it. We're down 30-16 and inside their 10-yard line with still about 6-7 minutes to go in the game. Unfortunately, didn't score. Had we scored there, we could have made it interesting. And then we play Eastern Michigan, shut them out, and then again last week, first road game in Conference USA, go to Sam Houston, and they were primed and pumped. It was their first home game. They had opened with 3 consecutive road games, and I think they'd been pointing to that since it was their home opener. First home game in FBS football as well as in the league in Conference USA, and didn't play very well the first half, played better the second half, and in that last minute and 11 seconds came back and able to score and tie it up and then win it in overtime. So if you're going to ask me if I thought we'd be 4-1 right now, no, I did not think so. I thought maybe we'd be, after the first 4 weeks, I was hoping we'd be 2-2 before we got to Sam Houston, and now here we are at 4-1. And I'll be honest, I still don't really have a good feel for this team. We've done some things good offensively, but we've also been very inconsistent. We've been better on defense, but we didn't play as good on defense last week against Sam Houston as we had previously. So I still call it growing pains. We're undersized on both sides of the line of scrimmage, up front on offensive line and defensive line. That's something they'll address in recruiting, starting with this. Actually started with last year's class, but we'll continue to address that. And quality depth. I think that's the 2 things that may hurt us, may get to us as we go deeper into this season.
How's Coach Rodriguez fit in to Jacksonville, Alabama? Because, here's a guy who's been all over the country, from Ann Arbor to Tucson, and now back in an area that he's really somewhat familiar with, coming back to the Southeast.
Well, he grew up in a small town in West Virginia, so he says that Jacksonville is very similar to where he grew up in West Virginia. So he's sort of at home there. Oddly enough, John Gross, our previous head coach, who's now on the staff at Clemson as an analyst, he bought Gross's house, as a matter of fact, in Jacksonville, and they've done some things with it and whatnot. So, but he seems to fit in very well. I think he likes it there. So he's year 2 for him. We were very good last year in the transition from and making the move from FCS to FBS football. So, last year we were probably at about 70 to 72 scholarships, I think. So, but he and his wife both, it's very similar, I think, to where they grew up, and he sort of likes it. Now, that doesn't mean if somebody else came calling that he might spend the rest of his life in Jacksonville, Alabama. I don't know. But he's been a good fit so far. And for a guy who's been, as you mentioned, at Ann Arbor, one of the, some would say top 3, top 5 jobs in the country, being there, and then at Arizona in the Pac-12, or what's left of the Pac-12 anyway. He's been great so far. I'll just put it that way.
Well, his product on the field has been good this year, obviously, getting to 4-1. Give folks some idea of some names they'll be hearing, both on the offensive side and defensive side. Give me 3 or 4 names that have to play well for Jacksonville State that you feel like if they come into Murfreesboro.
Well, it all starts with a quarterback, I think. Logan Smothers has taken over as a quarterback. We had a seventh-year guy in Zion Webb who was a starter going in, but Smothers has replaced him. Logan is an Alabama kid from Muscle Shoals High School up in North Alabama. Went to Nebraska, was a four-star recruit coming out of high school. And the offense we run is Rich Rod's offense. Goes back to his days at West Virginia. It's similar to some of the spread stuff you see now, but it is different. Quite honestly, it's probably a little more run-oriented. But because of what they did in Nebraska, Smothers, and he didn't come in until right before, I guess right before spring semester started is when he got there. So he hadn't had a whole lot of time in the system is what I'm trying to say. But he's learned it, and the second half he was pretty good last Thursday night at Sam Houston. I think a lot depends on him. We got Anwar Lewis back between he and Malik Jackson, two terrific running backs there. Hopefully Anwar will get more out of him this week. Last week was the first game he had played, and he's still a little rough around the edges trying to get back in shape there. Malik Jackson's been wonderful. So those are the guys probably. And at wide receiver, Sterling Galban, who transferred to us from Texas Tech, played with us last year. He's a slaughter inside guy, but terrific hands and makes some plays there. Then on defense, Quay Drake's been a great addition, a graduate transfer from Louisiana Monroe, which is where Rich Rod and some of the staff was before he got our job. He was the OC for Terry Bowden there. And Quay Drake's a local kid. He's from about 50, 60 miles from our campus, graduate transfer, one of our top tacklers. He's added an experienced influence there between he and we've got some veterans up front. So Jackson Luttrell's a guy, defensive tackle, that's played good, and Chris Hardy's been outstanding at defensive end. So those are some of the guys. If we're going to have success offensively and defensively, those are some names that people will hear from your broadcast.
Well, I tell you, I'm excited. I was really excited when I heard that Jacksonville State was coming into the league because it's an easy trip for both sets of fans to go one way or the other, and that's not always been the case in Conference USA. It looks like we're going to have terrific weather on Wednesday night, national television audience, so it'll be good finally to see your face in person once again. It's been a little while.
It has been a while. I can tell you this is going to be better than going to Las Cruces, New Mexico or El Paso for a trip. A whole lot better than that.
All right, Mike, thanks so much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
All right, Chip. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Mike Paris, the voice of the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. We'll take a timeout. More with Coach Stock after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The way we do work has changed. Where we work, how we work, and the day-to-day challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
Put Lee Company on your team to keep you and your family warm this season. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good no matter how cold it gets. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good to go no matter how cold it gets. And while you're at it, ask them how to get endless hot water by installing an energy-efficient tankless water heater. Schedule your appointment today at leecompany.com or give them a call at 615-867-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mike's up.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight as Rick Stockstill Live rolls on up until 7 o'clock here this evening. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, Bud Light. And Coach Rick Stockstill is here. And, Coach, one of the things that we talked to Mike Parris about was Coach Rodriguez and moving into Jacksonville, Alabama. You and he were on the same staff at Clemson for a couple of years, I guess, weren't you?
Yeah, 2 years, 99 and 2000 with Tommy Bowden when Tommy came from Tulane. And so we were together for 2 years.
And how was that? Y'all stayed were you friends or acquaintances or?
We coached together.
Yeah,
and
okay.
So you spend a lot of time with each other. And, so he's a lot of respect for Rich. He's a really good football coach and good person.
And about 10 years after that, I think Scott Schaefer was on his staff at Michigan.
For a little bit.
For a little bit. Gotcha. Understand. So maybe Scott has a little extra juice this week. Not that he's ever short of it anyway. A couple of questions from folks in the audience, and this one came in and asked about a potential trophy game, and they were talking about with Western Kentucky, and he mentioned potential sponsors of Nissan or GM or whoever. But do you like to play for something, for some sort of trophy, whether it's we've had Harvey, the totem pole. We've had the Palladium Trophy with Tennessee or with Troy. So do you like those, and do you think it adds something to the rivalry?
Yeah, I think it does. If you look at the Big Ten,
you get the old Oak and Bucket.
There's so many of those kind of games in the Big Ten, and I don't know why you wouldn't. I thought, a few years ago, they were talking about that's making the Western Kentucky game, some kind of trophy deal. And but no, I think all that stuff is good for college football. It adds to, you go back to Jacksonville State. I guess it was the first, 100 years ago we played. And now that we're in the same conference and the closeness of the, proximity of the two schools, is there some kind of tradition that we could start within, these, the two schools now? So yeah, I think all that stuff is, intriguing. It's, I think it just, adds to the game. I know the Troy game, holding up that trophy at the end of the game means something.
Well, I know back in my day when we played Tennessee Tech every year, you had.
Yeah, we still got that one.
It's still in the
somewhere.
It's in the Hall of Fame somewhere. We don't want to let too much information out because if there are any old heads, they would be down here stealing it, and because that has it was kidnapped and traveled all over the world and all kinds of stuff. So I agree with you. I like those types, and I think the perfect one in this, if it was with Western, would be, since we have, Jack Daniels, Uncle Nearest, they've got all of those upper and the bourbon up there, have some sort of barrel to play for. I think that would be a good one. You good with that?
I'm
whatever it might be.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, I had a question here. It said, so we seem to have some low snaps from center, which seem to disrupt plays from time to time. What do we need to do to get this correct? Or is that a correct observation to start with?
No, it's a correct observation. And I go back to the Missouri game. You know, it was loud there, and we were having Alabama was loud, and we're having a little trouble hearing. So we had our guard, you know, would tap Wilson. You know, he'd look back to the quarterback and tap him. And I thought at times he was tapping him too hard, and it was causing his snap to be a little low. And that's the only time that we've had to do that. And then against, I guess, Colorado State, you know, they were doing all that talking and stemming and everything and causing an issue. We were doing it there also. Just, you know, we got to be more consistent. You know, Wilson's a first-time starter. You know, there's going to be you snap, you know, he and Nick touch the ball every play. And he's got to get a little bit more consistent, but for the most part he's done a good job. And you are right in your observation that it does throw the timing off, especially in the RPO game, because, you know, that's when the snap has to be perfect. You know, but I think for the most part Wilson's done a good job, but he has had a handful of snaps each game that, you know, haven't been perfect.
And when you talk about in the RPO game, and when a quarterback is in the shotgun, and I want you to take us through this, but he's back there, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 3 yards, 4 yards, and that ball is coming right at him. If everything is right, he's able to make the catch and not really take his eyes off of what's going on back in front of him.
Well, I mean, in the RPO, you want a perfect snap because you got to catch it, and then you've got to seed the ball into the running back. You know, you seed it and then get your eyes, you know, on whoever you're reading, whether you're going to give it or you're going to throw it. So if he has to reach below his knees to take his eyes off that takes more time to come up and make the mesh with the running back. You know, and a lot of times you're guessing when that happens, or, you know, you make that and you don't have enough time to go through your read on the throw, and that's why sometimes you'll see quarterbacks, you know, take off running because it just disrupts the timing of the play. So that's why it's important that in the RPO game that the ball is above your waist. You know, you can, if it's, you know, above your shoulders, you can get away with it a little bit because you don't have to take your eyes off, you know, the mesh point of the running back or if whoever you're reading. But once that ball goes below your waist, then you put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
How much in the RPO, what would you say a percentage of your call or calls that are made offensively? Does it just change game to game? How much of it is okay, we've called this play, and then with the RPO, the run pass option, obviously there are things that have to be read there for a decision to be made.
You know, 25% maybe.
Okay.
You know, it's even the, you know, the fast screens outside, you know, we've got RPO tags on those that, you know, if they're pressed down and we don't like it, Nick can hand it off. And, you know, so it's not just everything down the field throws. There's a lot of stuff on the perimeters. There's a lot of, you know, intermediate game, and there's some, you know, further down the field, shots down the field.
Now, flip that over to what Jacksonville State does. A lot of option principles in what Rich Rodriguez's offense is. And talking to Scott Schaefer this morning, he talked about that, you know, it really changes how you go about pressuring, and that eye discipline against them. It's like playing an Army or a Navy more so than a normal spread type offense because of the option principles they have.
Yeah, that's what I said at the press conference this morning. It's, you know, you've got to be, you know, very gap sound. You've got to be, you know, have gap integrity. you got to be disciplined with your eyes and run your keys, and you don't want to see too much. You don't want to guess, obviously, and you have to be disciplined in your responsibility. And if I've got the back, I've got to take the back. If I got quarterback, I've got to take the quarterback. I can't guess, because that's when big plays happen, and they'll split you. So, and it involves everybody. It's not just that side of the field that he's running to. It's everybody on that field that they've got. It goes back to being gap sound, that you got the backside A gap or the backside B gap, C gap. You've got to make sure, whether you're a linebacker or a DB or, the defensive end, that you're, doing what you're supposed to do and do your job.
This will be the 19th meeting between Middle Tennessee and Jacksonville State. The first meeting ever came 90 years ago in September of 1933. It was the very first game played at Floyd Stadium. We'll take a timeout. Get final thoughts from Coach Stock after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Clear.
Not feeling well and need to see a doctor? Find the care you need now at Ascension St. Thomas. We're here with 24/7 ER care, same-day care, and walk-in urgent care for broken bones, sprains, allergies, sore throats, and more. Visit ascension.org/St. Thomas Care to get the right care at the right place at the right time. Serving Middle Tennessee State University, Murfreesboro, and surrounding communities.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Coach Rick Stockstill. Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? This is exactly what you need for your busy lifestyle. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at Ascend's 2 on-campus ATMs and at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Bank where the Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. Visit us at ascend.org.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime partner of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. Roscoe Brown will be celebrating 83 years in business and has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mic's up.
Welcome back to the Boulevard for a final time this evening with Coach Rick Stockstill. And it is blackout night. It is midweek football. That typically means good student crowds in particular, but the weather's going to be great. I mean, you couldn't ask for much better coming into the first week of October, first week of fall, and a big football game for both teams.
Yeah, ginormous, and we're excited about it, and told our players, we got to have great energy, great excitement, and I hope we get that from our fans as well. But, this is like I told them, there's somebody, you're not going to have two undefeated teams in the championship game. You're not going to get there, this week, but so there's still a ton to play for, to realize and reach our ultimate goal. So long way to go in this season. A lot of games to be played, and a lot of great opportunities out there, and this is one of them.
Biggest challenge this week?
I think probably, obviously offensively for us is we've got to be able to handle their pressure, and we've got to create some explosive plays. And then defensively, we got to make sure we tackle, and especially tackle the quarterback. He's not a juke and jive. He's not a jitterbug. He's not one of those kind of guys, but he's athletic. He's got good size, and he can run. So we got to do a good job getting, making him feel us make him feel us, get some contact on him.
All right, that'll be Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. First Wednesday night game since the 1940s at Middle Tennessee. Coach, let's make it a happy hump day.
Let's go, baby.
All right, Coach Rick Stockstill joining us. Talik Pratt has been our studio producer tonight. Want to thank you all for being here. We'll talk to you again next week. Rick Stockstill Live here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Clear.
You've been listening to Rick Stockstill